Hey guys, it's Emily here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be setting up my May bullet journal layout and I literally think I'm crazy. I don't even really understand what my own theme is, to be honest, and high-key it was my own idea. So the theme that I chose and thought would be a great idea was microcosm. I literally knew the biggest definition of this word when I came up with this theme. Anyways, a microcosm is like a small world of its own. So yeah, somehow that spiraled into different kinds of jars and even a coffee cup all the way to a Game Boy. So I had this tiny notebook, sketchbook thing where I thoroughly planned out May. It was in part so I wouldn't forget what I wanted to do, and also because I wasn't really sure if what made sense in my head would make sense on paper. Well, it didn't even really make sense in my head, so paper sketch was definitely necessary. For this month, I have 4 different colors for my month. And since the theme is microcosm and small worlds, I wanted to draw each month square as its own individual color block. So first I'm putting guide dots on the paper to show the boundaries of one box. I actually can't count, so I messed up the guide dots quite a bit, but that's why they're in pencil, right? So I'm going to go in and use my first color and draw rounded squares within my guide dots. As I'm doing this, I really don't have a specific pattern in mind. I'm just making sure that the colors are scattered. I'm going to continue this with my 4 colors, trying to avoid putting 2 of the same color boxes next to each other. Of course, since I only have 4 colors, it was basically unavoidable, but I'll show you guys how I fixed that. If there are boxes of the same color next to each other, I color one of the boxes in to provide some variety for the eye. Then if there were 2 of the same color diagonal of each other, I would color one of them in as well. Then if there were 2 of the same color in the same row as each other, I would again color one of them in. And lastly, if there were 2 of the same color in the same column, I would color one of them in as well. That sounds complex, but I promise it's not. I spread out the colors efficiently enough across the page so that I never encountered having 3 of the same colors next to each other. Then I erased the pencil guide dots and wrote in the dates with a black pen in the top left corner of each box. The colors that I chose were light enough that the pen would still be visible. Then I finished it off by writing the days of the week on top of each column. I do a Monday start, so this was a 5-week month, but for Sunday starters, it's going to be a 6-week month. Now, moving on to the ambitious and drawing heavy part of my spread. I mean, it should technically be pretty easy considering I was able to draw them, but anyways, my plan was to put each letter of May in its own microcosm, each with a different theme. Let me explain myself. Y was put in a strange heart-shaped bottle, and the theme of this microcosm was a city, so I just drew a bunch of different buildings in that container and wrote the letter Y. For A, the theme was universe, so I put a lot of different planets and stars in a traditional shaped jar. For M, the theme was nature, so I have a circle-shaped container with lots of flowers, plants, and butterflies. Since these ideas were all so radical and crazy, I thought it would be nice to show how they're all different and their own microcosm, but unify them in some way. So I kept the color palette the same for each microcosm and limited it to the 4 colors of the month. Granted, I didn't really have the color palette in mind when planning out these layouts, but I think it turned out well. Next, I'm just going to add my habit tracker on the side. If you want to learn more about my habit tracking system, you can watch my previous plan with me. Or really, Ryder Carroll's explanation would probably be better since he's like the one who created the bullet journal system. I'll just be using my 4-month colors in drawing lines to separate the weeks and highlighting. For some reason, I didn't think my microcosm idea was crazy, but I did think the fact that the 3 letters and their microcosms were just floating mid-air very strange. So I just added a shelf for them all to sit on. Then I just wrote monthly goals in the top left corner of this page, and that is my month setup. Even from my sketch, you can tell that I am a little out of my mind. So this microcosm theme has just slowly turned into a jars theme somehow. For this first weekly spread, I'm basing it off of the Muji planner layout. I've wanted to try the Muji layout for a while, so I thought I'd just recreate that spread into my bullet journal. So the left side is going to be for any events, and the right side will be my running to-do list. For the right, I just drew a jar so it would be containing all of my thoughts and to-dos. For the left, I'm just drawing a box in the same style as my month boxes. Then, for the space on the bottom, I'm adding my study tracker, and the quotes for this month's weekly spread will all be coming from lyrics from Microcosmos, since that song is about microcosms, with the title loosely translating to microcosm. For this first quote, I put, "We're shining brightly in our own rooms, in our own stars." Second weekly spread layout was basically me drawing different types of jars for each day, leaving where the 8th jar would have gone as space for my study tracker and quote. Maybe it would have been a good idea to draw another jar there to contain the quote and study tracker, but oh well. And here we can really see that this microcosm theme is really branching out as we see the appearance of a coffee cup and a mug. The lyric I used for this spread was, "One light is ambition, some light is rebellion, people's light, all are precious." I'm actually pretty sure I made a quote page with this lyric before in an old journal. It's just one of my favorites, and this is proof that it still resonates with me. I'm just finishing off the spread by using the month colors to shadow each jar and write the dates and the day in each jar. Moving on to the third weekly layout, we have a vertical layout. The shape of each is, you guessed it, a jar/bottle. Oh, and even a test tube, because why not? My lyric for this month was, "One history in one person, one star in one person, 7 billion different worlds shining with 7 billion lights." This is the lyric that possibly embodies this idea of microcosm the best in the song by explaining that each person is their own microcosm. To me at least, this shows that each person is significant in this world of 7 billion. I'm going to finish the spread by writing the dates and the day of the week in each jar/bottle/test tube in each month's color and adding a little shadow. The fourth weekly spread. I knew that this spread was incredibly crazy, so I included a larger sketch for this one. At some point, I felt that jars didn't really encompass this theme of microcosm, so I started to think of different hobbies and activities that people can get lost in or become very engrossed in, activities that can transport people into a world of their own. So this is where the Game Boy comes in, because people can get lost when playing their games. I also added a TV since people can get lost into their shows, aka binge watching. I did a sketch of an open book where one side of the page will be for one day and the other side of the page will be for another day. This is since writers get lost in their writing and because their writing can transport readers into another world. I thought it was so cute that when you write to-dos in this, it's like you're writing the book. Then I also included an MP3 player because music is its own world and it can move people deeply. Oh, this is kind of a random one, but I put a snow globe since snow globes are basically tiny little microcosms. Last thing that I drew was an easel because people can get engrossed in art and drawing, and because art can be used to depict other worlds and make fantasy worlds become real. It's very easy to get lost in art, in my opinion. The lyric that I used was the most iconic line of the song, "Shine, Dream, Smile." But I also really liked the lyrics that came after this line in the song. It's, "Oh, let us light up the night. We shine in our own ways." I'm going to finish the spread by using this month's color to color in the different drawings on this page. This is the final flip through. Surprisingly, I actually really enjoyed making these spreads. I think I really stepped out of my comfort level and made more drawing spreads, and I honestly love that I used more than one color for this month's theme. May is this happy month for me, and all of these colors and the combination of these colors really make me happy. Please let me know what you think. Do you understand this theme? And yeah, see you guys in my next video.